Yeah, you know what it is. It's your boy, Noonie Noon, coming to you again. I want to take this time and give God his, y'all, just for a couple of seconds. Let's go. Bow your head, close your eyes. Lord, thank you for this day and all the things you've given us. And if there's anyone who needs your extra help, Lord, please help them. I don't know what their problems are. Only you know, Lord. So put your loving arms around them and bless them in a mighty special way. And bless all of us, Lord. And I'll be careful to give you all the praise and glory in Jesus Christ's name. I pray. Amen. Okay, folks. I told you guys I was coming back with part 4 of giving back to the older OGs and brothers and sisters in my neighborhood. However, I told you also that I was going to have some brothers with me to tell their story, and I won't be doing the talking, but I'll be helping narrate. However, I reached out to a few people, got no responses yet. Got one response. His brother was out of town, but he should be back tomorrow. So I'm going to extend it to a part 5, but I'm going to give you a little something tonight. Because I'm really serious about this, telling your story, black folks, tell your story. First, before I go into the topic of giving back, I just want to say this. For all those who think that the present European establishment has not set the tone for this black on black crimes, you need to do some research. Yeah, I said that. Do some research. The Carnal Commission was a commission by the President Johnson, I think it was. And he hired, now this is the President of the United States, he hired professional people, lawyers and people in the field of checking out what was the problem with black people not getting their just dues in America. And what they came back was with the establishment and the powers that be had set up different parameters to keep us back. Now, a lot of you is going to say, oh, well, you know, no one stopped me from doing the white man, ain't doing the white man. Yeah, well, we all know that. I know that person. I have white friends, okay? But check the history out. I'm not a professional. These people was hired as professionals to determine what the problem was. So you're going to go with facts and clear evidence, or you're going to go with your emotional feelings. Okay, I just want to set that record straight. Understand that a lot of these things you see happen with black on black is due to the situation that was set up for us. Check it out for yourself. Again, don't take my word for it. Now, in terms of my story, I thought about my grandfather, you know. My grandfather's name was Charlie Tindale Sr. Bishopville, South Carolina. This was my mom's dad. This guy worked in the fields from sun up to sundown. He had maybe 60, 70 acres. He had 5 daughters and 2 sons. And then he had a bunch of us grandkids. Me and my brother, we went down there every summer. When we went down there, my grandfather, I think his weight, he were about 180 or 190. Small man. Strong, fiery, wired type, Bruce Lee type guy. When we went down there, I was so impressed at the way he handled his animals. He had a horse and a wagon and among other machines on it for him. But he also had so much control over his horses. This horse, we used to go into what they call going to town. You know, back then it was like, oh, we going to the pavement road. We ain't going on the dirt road. We going to the pavement road. We going to town. So we went down there, excuse me. And when we went into town, well, first on the way to town, right? He was so respected down there among whites and blacks. He worked for a gentleman by the name of B.J. Bonnet. Bishopville, South Carolina. So if any of you bonnets are still living, your offspring and stuff, you probably know my grandfather, or you heard of him, because Charlie Tindale was BJ's right-hand man, and BJ had everything on lock down there. So, but just to make, I don't want to bore you guys too much. I just want to get to the point. The point is, he used to have sayings like "gee," and the horse would stop, and he'd say "ha," and the horse would go. And I tried that. I said, "Hey, Grandpa, let me do that," because I call him Grandpa. They call him Mr. Charlie. I tried that. That horse looked at me like I was crazy. So, I mean, now, mind you, he worked 6 days in that field tonight. On Sunday, he was a different man. I mean, he used to get tore down on what they call cone liquor, not corn liquor, cone liquor. And he would curse everybody out. Everybody except his wife, Viola Tindale, which was my grandma. And one day, me and my brother Tony, rest his soul, we was in the store with him. And he took us to town, and we was looking around. So we was looking at candy. So he said, "Get anything you want, get anything you want." And he was rocking back and forth. And I looked around, and I just seen a lot of white folks. And at that time in history, like, it was a little tricky, a little, you had to be kind of, not reckless with your mouth. He was like, "What you looking at, you poor bucker child, you soda cracker? Get my grandkids anything they want." And if anybody said anything to him, another guy would say, because I heard one of them say, "Oh, that's BJ Bonnet, man. That's BJ Bonnet's man." He said, Mr. Charlie, calm down." So much respect. I mean, they helped him to the wagon. We was a little timid because we didn't know if the horse was going. All he told the horse was, "Gee, how the horse found his way back home, man." I was so happy, bro. But I tell you all this to tell you this. This was a provider, a man who back then, they used to go to church a lot, but Charlie was the type of guy. A lot of folks back then would say, "Oh, the preacher coming to the house, the preacher coming to the house, they make this big meal." I mean, down south people, they feed you good anyway. But when the preacher comes to the house, wow, that's a special treat. So the preacher comes to Charlie Tindale house, my grandfather. We out there playing in the yard, with the chickens and stuff. My grandmother and my aunts and them and her friends, and they making this meal for the preacher coming over. Charlie Tindale would come in that house, stomp his feet. "Ain't nobody eating till my kids eat. Sit them children down." He called them children, not children. Children down. They eating before any preacher. The preacher be standing right there. You don't say a word. And my name Charlie Tindale. And he sit back, bring my plate here, sister. He called my grandmother. Her name was Viola, but he called her sister. Bring my meal here. So, boy, I was so proud of this guy, and he was an icon and still is in my life. My other grandfather, however, on my father's side, I didn't get to see him that much, but I heard he was a little ball of fire too. Solly Benjamin was his name. So I'm telling my story because this is what I remembered as a child, and the valuable lesson I got from that is his girls turned out fine, his boys turned out fine. They never starved. He raised his family with no fear. And I can't do nothing but take my hat off to my grandpa. And so, Charlie Tindale Sr., I salute you, my brother, my grandfather. And I love you. So, that's a part of my story. So every, on part 5, again, I'm going to reach out to some more brothers. If they don't want to tell their stories, then I'm going to start reaching out to sisters. Because I know you sisters got a lot to say too. You need to speak and tell how you was raised or how you wasn't raised, or give some knowledge to the next generation so they can grow and develop into real beings. Now, before I get off, this is real quick. I ain't going to hold you no longer. I don't like to call names, but there's a couple of brothers, and they probably know who I'm talking about right now. in the neighborhood that was always instrumental in keeping us straight, like I said before. So what I'm gonna do, and if I don't mention your name, it'll come to me, and if it don't, please forgive me. But every week after these other brothers come on and express their stories, I'm gonna pick 3 families or 3 last names of the people that I'm talking about in terms of uplifting our community in that close circuit area of Patterson called School 6, between Carroll, Graham Ave at that time, which is Rose Park Boulevard now, Broadway. That whole little area, there was, fantastic, talented, courageous warriors came from that area. And I swear to God, I hold my head up and I salute them. And if you're still living on this side of the world, universe, please know that Noonie Noon, once again, thank you for all the lessons you taught me. With that, I'm signing out. Love you guys. Peace.